Welcome to the Paranormal Pride, everyone. I'm Denise Pridemore, and my special guest host again tonight is Ron. You guys all know Ron. If you don't, then you better start paying attention because he's around quite often. So tonight our guest is spirits out of many places in this country. They're in parts of Missouri and in DeLand, Florida. So we're going to talk to them and see what's going on in the land of spirits. And we got John and Terry and Bobby back. If you guys don't recall, we had them on for the shit discussion that we had a couple months ago. They were part of the shit team. And of course, it was very funny and interesting. And then we have Holly Myers and Randy and Corey Lindsay, and welcome them all to the show. And please feel free to ask questions, and we'll get this show rolling.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Holly will come and go.
Right.
So, hey, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
So, we were talking before the show that you guys all met in an unusual way. Not that unusual. I mean, Randy says he's known Terry since she was a kid. And Corey says you guys all worked together. And right. And then you met Bobby at the library.
Mm-hmm.
So huge, it's great to be able to meet
Mom.
People that easily and build a team out of them. And we got Holly back. Maybe. So, Carl, if you can add Holly anytime. Nope, she's gone again.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so we're gonna just keep on going here. So, when did you guys decide to make a team out of all of you?
This was actually, I think we did the haunted trolley tour up in Alton. That's one of those pictures.
Oh, yeah. And then we did Limp Mansion.
And then we did Limp Mansion. That was another picture.
Okay.
And then we did a McPike camp out. And after, I don't know, being up for 20 plus hours, we came up with the Spirits and Hauntings Investigation team. And we just thought that was hilarious after sleep deprivation. So that's what we called ourselves.
Well,
it's a pretty good name.
All kinds of sense. It takes a creative mind to come up with some of these acronyms that people come up with for their paranormal teams.
True.
For us, it was easy. We just used our last name. We can go anywhere. We can do anything.
Cheated.
Yeah, we cheated.
Mansion. That's what it is.
Yeah. So we do have some pictures. I'm just going to go ahead and put them up here. We can talk about those real quick. Okay. And where do you want to start?
Well, we talked about Limp Mansion. We can start with the tower there.
So, is that it?
Yeah, if everybody can see the tower and stuff. This is at 6:00 in the morning. And Corey and Randy and Terry and I spent the night. And at 6:00 in the morning, I'm craving a cigarette. We're on the 3rd floor. I finally talked myself into going through this big scary mansion all by myself, going out the back door at the bottom of the spiral staircase. That's where you could smoke. And I had a cigarette or two, and it's like, do I want to go back through this scary mansion all by myself? Maybe not. So I was walking around taking pictures, and like all three of these people can attest to, the wind was blowing really wicked that morning. So I took a picture of the tower, and I thought it'd be cool if something was looking out of the tower at me, but it was a lot closer. If you look at that little white wisp under the corner of the awning.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
You see it?
I don't have a hula hoop to put around it.
And trust me, it's not in the tower. I went over that inch by inch. It is the reflection of a tree behind me.
I don't know about that little window.
Mhm.
But that I can't explain that. I don't know what that is.
Is that look? I got something too. If you look in that lower window where you have your cursor, there's a little face right there. You see that face? Nope. Bring it back to where you're underneath the awning, where John was just talking about. So bring it down right there where your cursor is. Scroll down. Right there is a face. See it?
Oh, I see it. Yep.
I see something.
Yep.
That was in 2007. I never noticed that. Cool.
Yeah, we've been there once. No, twice.
Twice.
We took Karen with us, Ron's mom. Let's see here if I can. How do I get to my next picture?
One of the cleanest places we've ever been to.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
There we go. No. Damn it. I didn't want to open each and every picture. So I am going to bring this down and go get the other picture. I don't know what's going on, why it's only letting me show one at a time. Usually it lets me scroll through them.
It's
So-
cursed.
Huh?
This one is
It's
named Bobby. I wonder why.
Well, I named it that.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay,
didn't
you
want somebody to see the picture and then go, why is it named that? And then it gives them they already know what it is. I didn't want to say what it was. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one.
Oh my.
Oh
Go
my.
ahead. This
Oh,
was
my.
YouTube.
So what's going on in this picture?
Well, what happened is John, Terry, and I, we went to the Missouri State Penitentiary in
Yep.
Gap City,
That's what I was going to guess.
and we had went through the tour with the tour group, and just had a magnificent time. And if you've never been there, I would just warn you, be prepared to walk. There's a lot of walking
Yes.
involved, upstairs, downstairs, you name it.
Actually, Denise and Ron were on this one.
I go,
Yeah.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't 100%.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks familiar.
Yeah.
If you recall, at near the end of the tour, they had a central meeting room in one of the buildings, and they were doing. The leader of the group was kind of doing a round robin, asking people if they had any questions, comments, concerns, or perhaps they had experienced a feeling or saw something. And so everybody was sitting around kind of talking amongst yourselves. And I didn't have any questions or concerns at the time, but all of a sudden, I mean, quick as you can spit, I was hit, just overcome with feelings of great sorrow, agonizing pain of loss. The only way I could equate that was it made me personally feel as sad as I did when I got the news that my dad had died in Columbus, Ohio. And when I got the news that my mother had died in Columbus, Ohio. And then, of course, the topper of all of it was when my 6-month-old daughter died in my arms of a massive heart attack. As any has been through just one death, we can all remember how agonizingly painful that is. Imagine that times 3. And deep inside, I was screaming. And I said, take this away from me. I can't stand this pain, this torture anymore. Remove this from me. And again, just as quick as you could spit, I remember opening my eyes and shaking my head, and looking straight across from me was Terry. She was sitting there, and her eyes were big as $50. And she said, are you okay? And I said, oh yeah, I'm fine. Getting a little tired. What are we going to do next? And
something just went through you.
You know, she didn't make a big thing of it or anything, and I didn't even know she had taken this picture. But she said, during the time that I was experiencing what I just told you, this is how I looked. And she, you know, she captured this on film. And at the very end of the program, if you remember, all of us, we went to what they call the death house, where the gas chamber is located.
Yep.
And the tour guide, after we all had our time and did photo ops in the death house,
yep.
The leader of the group said, well, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out today, and I hope you really learned more about the prison. And if you have any further questions or comments, please feel free to go to our website. And everyone, it's late, everyone's tired, so please drive carefully when you leave and have a good time. Good night, everybody. And as we were walking to the car, this same person kind of pulled me over to the side, and they said, are you all right? And I said, well, yeah, I'm a little tired and I'm hungry, but other than that, I'm okay. She said, no, are you okay? And I explained to her what I experienced. And she said, well, first of all, I need to tell you, you're not the first one. There have been other people who have had experiences similar to yours. And what we've been able to ascertain is that these are emotions, thoughts, and everything from people that have been imprisoned here and have died, either by disease or the hand of a fellow inmate, whatever it might be. Many people were grieving because their life had been cut short. Others were grieving and feeling great pain because, you know, they never had anyone visit them the whole time they were in prison. So consequently, when they come across someone such as yourself that is sensitive, they use you as a vessel to kind of, let's just say, dump some of their feelings onto someone so that they could be expressed in a format that perhaps others would understand. So, you know, she gave me some good words of advice that I remember to this day. And that's pretty much the extent of that, you know, that picture. I hope that explains some things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember quite a bit about that day, that night.
Oh, yeah.
With Maggie and Thomas and you guys. And
really,
and what's really strange about that is that that's who my guests were supposed to be last week, and I got sick. Poor Maggie and Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
So, but
hey, when that hit you, Bobby, was that in death row? Is where that hit you?
No, it was.
I'm not really sure. All I remember was it was in what I'll call a common area where everyone was seated. There were
benches and everything.
It was a huge.
Yeah, it's probably
deep trustees.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trustee building because, well, this was going on. And I was up on the 4th level going through cells,
Yeah.
pictures and stuff.
So, like I said, I remember that night. I also remember that we drank some wine when we got back to the hotel and we had a good time. And then we all slept like babies. And I think Bobby went home. I don't think you stayed, did you? Did you stay at the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he stayed at the hotel.
He was at the hotel. He's
Yeah.
in another room.
Yeah, he did. He didn't. I guess he didn't partake in the wine.
Right.
So
No.
That wine was really good.
Then Corey and Randy were at the Mansfield, Ohio State.
oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Field
Yeah,
Reformer
we
Party.
actually toured with Ghost Adventures.
Oh,
You guys
Yeah.
had that cool video, and I can't find it.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
we have it.
I wish I would have thought about it before tonight. We could have somehow got it to you.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
maybe next time.
so were you guys on Ghost Adventures?
We were not on Ghost Adventures, but we did a live event with them. And I don't really think that we were like on the show, but they did like a there was a couple, I think maybe like 20-25 people with us at the time, and we kind of all split up and went through Mansfield Reformatory, and that was interesting. I caught some video, but I really didn't even know anything was there until I went over to John and Terry's house, and we just put it up on the big screen, and John's the one that spotted it. So it's unexplainable. I'm still a skeptic, but I don't know. It's something's there, and it was something that was caught that nobody was around because they had a lot of these stairwells locked off.
Yeah.
So that's where I ended up catching it.
Yeah, we got to be on Ghost Adventures at 2014. It was a long time ago. So
The old 10 years.
yeah, a whole 10 years ago. Actually,
Way
coming up
back when.
next month, 10 years ago next month.
Mm.
So I got another picture here. I will add it. It looks like it's Branson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old train depot down in Old Town Branson.
Hey, I know where it is.
Terry had her regular digital camera. She's on one side of the stairs. I'm on the other side of the stairs with my night vision camera. She took a picture. So, well, I had to wait for the tour guide to get on my way. She moved to the side and I took a picture with my night vision. And if you look, it looks like two light columns standing right up out of the middle of the platform.
right there.
Right there. And I don't know what they are, but I think if you zoom in on them, they look like legs trying to form, maybe from ankles to knees. And if I'd given them another minute, somebody would have been there. But I didn't see anybody there to begin with.
So you guys were on a haunted tour there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the walking tour.
Yeah, the walking.
Yeah, every time we
Do
We-
they still
we-
do that?
we took a train ride.
I don't know.
I don't know. We planned on at least checking it out this time around, but we didn't get that far.
Right.
So let's see. And we got another. I didn't know what it was, so I called it another.
Another, okay.
Well, because you have two pictures of the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah, one's a close up of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, show the original first. That's better. That one's better, and you can zoom in on it.
Come
Yeah, go
on.
ahead and zoom.
There we
That's
Oh,
go.
there we go.
The mirror, right?
The
Yeah.
mirror. Yep.
Yep.
This was the haunted Alton trolley tour. Corey and Randy and Holly and Steve were on it.
I remember that.
And certain places, couple houses, you could get out and walk around their first floor. And that's what I did here. And Terry said, "Oh, that mirror's cool." So, all right, just snapped a picture. Didn't think anything about it until I downloaded it and saw that.
We have a similar picture that somebody shared with us from Dara and Caitlin. You know Dara and Caitlin. and Lisa at the Pythian Castle.
Mm.
So very similar type picture. It's in the mirror there as well. So, well, there you go. Those are some good pictures and interesting. So I want to say hi to Nigel. I know that this is really late for Nigel. It's 2 hours later than usual for him to be in here. So he usually tells us hi at 5 o'clock, and then by 5:05 he's gone. So thank you, Nigel, for coming. And I want to say hi to Susan and Ron's mom, Karen, and Raymond, and
Mike.
Mike, and Debbie Spinelli.
Yeah.
Spinelli.
Yeah.
I should know that from General Hospital. So let's see, is there anybody else we need to say hi to? Oh, Tom McNicholas. And of course I said hi to Crystal. She's my cousin. So so when you guys all got together, what was the first thing you guys did together as a paranormal team?
Gosh, I
You
don't
remember?
Well, I would guess
Jeez.
we were in a group then, but Corey, Randy, and Terry and I went to Limp.
That's
And
when
I
we
guess-
heard those people talking.
Oh,
mumbling.
Yeah, in the stairwell.
Yes.
Yeah.
About
Were
3
there people really there?
Yeah.
No,
No.
it was just
Oh,
us
that's
four
pretty
in the
cool.
whole place.
The whole staff locked
That
up and
was-
left
oh,
at 4:30, and we had the whole place to ourselves. So it was probably about 2 in the morning. We went up, drank a little coffee, switched batteries and stuff. And I asked Corey and Randy, "Do you guys leave the TV on?" We had the adjoining rooms with the pocket doors.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "No, we never turned it on." It's like, listen, and I think it was 2 men and a woman having a conversation in the stairwell.
Right. But what was weird is that John and I are the only ones that heard it. Terry and Randy didn't hear
I
it.
didn't hear it.
Yeah, and we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Did
So when you were hearing this conversation, you really weren't. You just heard 2 men and a woman. You really weren't paying attention to what they were even talking about, were you?
You could hear the 3 different voices, but you couldn't hear what they were saying.
Like muffled.
Yeah, it was muffled, or they were down lower than we could hear them down the stairs or something.
Right.
it didn't sound like an argument?
No, just a
Mm.
discussion about
Just talking. So what are your thoughts on Limp Mansion?
I think it's
Awesome.
fun. I go back there again. It's
Yeah,
like-
there's definitely something there.
Something
It's-
dark or something not dark?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. It's
I don't think
That's
it's
I
dark.
don't think it's dark.
That's
I don't either.
So do you think that the stories are true that, you know, because we all know there's stories out there everywhere. And one of the stories we were told when we went there by one of the people in the gift shop, we'll just say that, and they said that there was something in the house that caused all these people to commit suicide. Do you think it was that, or do you think it was just the times?
The stress of being really rich.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
really.
it was the stress and running bad luck and
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So,
think it
Susan-
could have been possibly genetically related. And
Yeah.
I say this because, yes, they were under a lot of stress. The business was changing. They were
Mhm.
losing business because of competitors like Anheuser-Busch, Pabst, and others. So they were under a lot of stress there. And of course, you know, family involvements in the community. Yeah, sure, that's a stressful thing. But it's also been
Yes, it's
medically proven that
Susan
certain
Roberts, I
forms
captured an
of
apparition in the photo.
mental illness unfortunately becomes part of our DNA, and we have to address that, we like it or not.
Mhm.
And that is an unfortunate reality. And I hope, you know, I again would have to do more research, but from what I've learned, there was we'll say an undertone of mental illness that ran in the family. So I think that is, part and parcel, something to be considered at least in finding out what this may be. We may never know.
No. And the thing is I don't even know if any of the Lemp family is still around.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
I mean, a lot of them did die that we know of. So it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, Susan and Mike, they've gone to Lemp, and she said she captured an apparition there. And we have other friends, the Creeps in Kansas City. That's their paranormal team's called Creeps. They're not Creeps. They got an EVP, but they didn't notice it until 6 months later. They thought they got nothing while they were there. And so I thought that was odd when we were talking to them at the Oddfellows, the Belvoir Winery. They were talking to us about that. And when I had Adam on my show, he had said something about it as well. So, it's interesting to find out what different people get.
We went a second time with Corey and Randy, and Holly was with us this time. All the rooms, total opposite the last time, all the rooms were rented out. These so-called ghost hunters are running all over the place like a herd of giraffes.
Yep.
So we're standing there in the middle. It's like, well, should we keep going or should we just give up and go to our rooms? And this water bottle launched itself from a side table and landed right in the middle of all 5 of us. And we're all standing there with cameras just looking at it.
Not taking a picture, huh?
No, didn't have one running. Like always.
Leave it to John to not be ready at the right time.
See, like I said, we were new to this ghost hunting thing. At this time.
Right.
It counts.
Did you guys have any strange feelings down in the basement?
No.
Not really.
No.
Should tell them about the lavender lady.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still a skeptic, like I said, but the lavender suite is supposed to be like one of the most haunted. She loves men, which is what I was told, and we were sleeping, and of course Corey, she falls asleep. I'm watching TV still, and the TV's like clear on the other side of the room, and there's a couch that's on my side of the bed, of course. So when you roll over on your side, you don't see a wall, you see a couch.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, I'm thinking I'm not going to sleep because I'm thinking I want to open my eyes and see something there. But eventually I kind of, I shut off the TV and kind of roll over and try to get some sleep. And probably about, I don't know, it's real early in the morning at this time. It might be 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I feel something kind of brush me across the top of my head. And I thought it was Corey messing with me. So I immediately kind of wake up and I kind of look around. I'm kind of looking around like, okay, is the fan on? The fan's not on. And I'm thinking, well, maybe because the air conditioner kicked on, but the vent was clear on the other side of the room, and there's 10-foot ceilings. So I'm like, there's no way that pressure could be able to do that. So I've debunked everything that I would think could it be. So I don't know. It's something that happened. I can't explain it. I have no proof. It's just me feeling it and getting up the next morning and just talking about it with everybody. So it was different.
Is that the room that has a bathroom in it on the 3rd floor at the back of the steps?
Gosh, I don't remember. This is whenever you go up to the 2nd floor.
It's Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Yeah. And it's like the lavender suite is one of the biggest rooms. It's got the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay,
attached
so
to the
I
dining
remember
room.
that when it's got that huge bathroom in it.
Yeah, it's
Might be right.
Okay. So, hello, Holly. Can you hear us this time?
Are you back?
Not very long.
I know it's so frustrating when you want to do something so bad and then
Hi.
technology won't
I'm
let you.
hearing you.
Hi.
Can't
She
hear
can
me,
hear it.
can you?
Yeah,
I can
hear
hear
you.
you.
I hear you.
I was trying to type a thing. His hair. Remember?
The what?
They
What?
didn't hear you.
I didn't hear you.
Kind of breaking up.
Yeah, she's freezing up again.
Mm-hmm. So, Randy and Corey,
That's
when
okay.
did you move to
I'm just
Florida?
listening.
2011.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you like it so far?
Yeah, we love it.
Yep.
Love the winters.
oh yeah.
Yeah, never have to put on pants, right?
That's right. Or shoes.
Right.
I know.
I have more sandals now than I've ever had.
Yep,
Yep.
me too.
And nobody's ever seen me in shorts until we lived down here.
That's
Oh,
true.
wow.
So, at least not as an adult. Let's just say that as an adult. But have you found any places that you would recommend to a visitor to your area that's haunted?
Casadega.
I've seen that one listed on Haunted Florida quite frequently.
Yeah, it's a very interesting place. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
What
it's
is it?
different.
I don't.
It's like
I'm not familiar with.
it's one of the most spiritual like places, and they say in the world. It's where like a lot of psychics are and
Mediums.
mediums. It's a spiritualist camp. It's definitely a strange place, and you blink, you miss it. It's a very small town.
Is it similar to that town in, what is it, Pennsylvania? I think. I don't remember. For some reason, I can't remember the name of it suddenly. Somebody will say something. And Debbie Spinelli asked, when did you guys move?
So it's just a place.
You answered it by saying 2011.
Yes.
So
That's a big. I
like I said, I saw it on the pages where, when people ask, where are the haunted places in my area in haunted Florida? And one of our friends, he wrote a book about haunted Florida. Christopher, oh crap,
whatever.
I can't remember his name suddenly, but he lives down by, I think he lives near Tampa.
Tampa, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he's written a bunch of books about Florida, about Massachusetts as well. He used to
I
live
believe
up there.
that. Yeah.
There you are.
Balzano, Christopher Balzano.
Hey,
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
A good Italian name. But he does a bunch of libraries. He'll come in and speak at a bunch of libraries in Florida.
Oh, cool.
He came up here to Mariana, and which is one of those towns that we're told's haunted. We just haven't been there yet.
Oh, okay.
So, let's see.
What do you got coming up? Either one.
You guys have any plans for
We,
paranormal?
Almost
we did-
September.
Right. We
Matt?
did a ghost walk or a history walk. I don't know what you would call it really.
A haunted history walk.
Saturday night in Casadega because they just started putting it on again. It was because of COVID. They kind of shut everything down in April of this year. They opened it back up again. So they opened that up, and you could stay the night in Casadega Hotel, which is supposed to be also haunted. And of course, there's the infamous Devil's Chair, which is out there at Lake Helen Cemetery, which is right next door to Casadega.
And what's the story with that?
I don't know. There's a lot of going on with that. You could probably look it up. Just look up the Devil's Chair.
There's
That
something,
chair up there in Marshalltown.
yeah, there's a chair in a graveyard
Similar.
in
I think
Marshalltown,
it's
Iowa.
probably a similar story.
And they said anybody who sits in this chair dies. Well,
Oh.
Oh, she.
Right.
And it made
Denise just died.
it through the
Yeah.
derecho
Denise-
and then the tornado.
Denise just, ooh.
So,
You just froze up, Denise.
but oh, great! Now we lost our internet.
Oh no.
There you go. Now you come
Yeah.
back.
We're having
Came
we're
back
having
to life.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we are. We're our
We didn't
signals
freeze up.
our
Yeah.
signals aren't doing good.
We hardwired.
Yeah.
There's Holly, maybe.
Yes.
She's moving.
Can you hear us? I am not on Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Denise, we can't hear your microphone.
I know.
Oh, well, now we can.
The delay.
Yeah. All right.
Somehow, some way, I don't know why it's telling me I'm on Wi-Fi when I'm not. So I'm hardwired. So, but it's acting up.
Denise, go out and come back in. Your words don't match your mouth.
Right. It's like a Japanese horror movie.
Yeah. It's like you're watching one of those Japanese Chinese movies. Yeah. She'll be back in a second. So, but yeah. And let's see here. So, anybody else got anything going on? Because it's getting close to the Halloween season and stuff around.
The Primo group is supposed to have sometime in October their 20th anniversary of being a ghost hunting group. I think they're going to have it up at our library. And we get to come in costume. So that'll be fun.
Good deal. Denise, you good?
I hope so.
Yep, you are.
Yeah, you're back.
So, and yes, Crystal, everyone does lose their Wi-Fi. So, so we missed out on some of this, but we'll be fine. We'll catch up. So are you guys doing the camp out this year at McPike, John and Terry?
yes.
Yeah.
You guys are going to go out there, and it's the 21st,
19th, October 19th.
19.
Yeah, that should be a Saturday.
For ours, the 26th.
Yeah, we'll be.
7 days.
Yeah, we'll be in Illinois on the 26th.
Oh man.
A week later.
Bummer.
Yeah, we're going to
Ashmore.
Ashmore Estates with Susan and Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So,
Carl and Gary and
yep, Carl and Gary,
two surprises.
so
David and Charlie.
Oh, okay. You knew?
Yeah, I've known the whole time.
Surprise.
You guys know Charlie. You met him at a camp out, yeah?
If I saw a face,
He was with Lauren and Ernest and Becca years ago. So he stayed by us a lot. He came 3 times?
Yeah, I think a couple times at least.
Yeah.
Corey and Randy were camping up at McPike. The morning it was like 20 degrees, 2 in the morning, and there was kids running around their tent.
Yeah, that was when I think it was starting to snow.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess it wasn't in June.
No, it was cold.
Camp out. I think it was
Yeah.
like the first or second one. It was cold.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Oh, yeah.
was.
You remember the one that we had where, let's see, it was 70 degrees when we started setting up, got down to about 25. We had a little bit of ice.
Mm.
And then the next morning we were freezing our ass off, but it got warmer. And by that time, 65 degrees and we're sweating our asses off again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Sharon told me that she misses us. And so when we go to St. Louis, we're going to stop by and see her the following week.
That's cool. Yeah.
So we're going to make sure we see her while we're up there. So sorry we can't see you guys.
No.
So
Well,
Pike
maybe.
still has campouts.
No.
Private.
private ones.
Yeah, it's October and by invitation only. Sharon and
Are
George got too old to do it.
Are you allowed to get in the house yet?
No. Well,
Really?
you can go into the first floor to that first room on the right. That's where they have their souvenir store now.
Oh, okay. So they really did a little bit of change to that. Because I know last time we were only allowed to go into like the cellar or something. Remember that?
Right. That was
Yeah.
it.
They've done so much work. It is so nice to see all that. And
Yeah, I don't know how much more they've done since then either.
no, we haven't been there in 3 years.
They may have most of the first floor open.
No,
Don't
John
know.
just said they
Oh, you were
have
just
one,
there?
one room.
Yeah,
Open.
Oh, that's not what we had
that
before.
Eric Laval guy. He's still basically building the skeleton.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Eric
Mm.
does a great job.
Yeah. We need a lot of help.
His daughter's helping him, and
Needs
um,
improvement.
so
More people.
but yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And then I saw pictures of Ira. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that kid is just so tall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw the birthday pictures from Charlotte.
oh yeah.
I can't believe, because she's about the same age as Piper, our granddaughter, our oldest. So, but yeah, I can't wait to see Sharon and say hi and give her a hug. I mean, we can't be there probably very long, but at least long enough for her to see that we're alive and okay.
Yeah.
You know, because she's always sending me messages. You know, she worries, but it's been so long. It'll be nice to see her. So,
Yeah, George is really looking really bad.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
he's in our prayers all the time.
And poor guy, sweetheart.
He is. He's a
Yeah,
good. He's a good man, and they're lucky that their kids are right there to help them out with everything.
Yep.
Or not. I know Ira's there to help. He's always there. He's such a good kid. So, did you guys, Randy and Corey, did you guys have any experiences at McPike that you'd like to share?
No, we've only spent that one time there with John and Terry, and Holly was with us, and there was Jesse and Cannon, I think, was with us as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But not really. There was so many people there, of course, at that time.
Yeah.
It always seems like when there's that many people, you really don't get to see much. Nothing really stays calm. They're always kicking up dust and everything else. You almost need to be there by yourself to kind of just let things relax and let things settle down a little bit.
Yep.
That's why we volunteered. Quiet time. But
Yeah, we did go in there.
yeah, we had a lot of experiences there that were amazing. You know, this one time that all these people were down there, and it was in the fall, and I think it was the day that it was nice and toasty that it got really cold because Leah was almost froze herself to death, and it would have been in 2018, been in 2015. Yeah, 2015 because I turned 50 that year, and that was when she did away with the summer campouts. Remember when we got to do your anniversary and my birthday at the same time? That was very special, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the next time in October, we had all those people there, and it was really busy. And it was the last time Leah came with us.
Horrible.
Because she let her come, because normally kids weren't allowed. And we're sitting in the basement with all these people. And I don't know if you remember, I don't even know if you guys were down there, but I'm sitting there and I look down at my hands and I can see them in the dark. It is black as night. You can't see it. I mean, you can put your hand like this and if it's not touching your nose, you don't know it's there. And Ron looks over and he sees my hands.
She's
Yeah, just doing
that
yeah,
on her lap.
because I'm amazed. that I can see my hands. I can see my rings glistening in the light. You know?
I even looked away.
Pitch black.
Yeah, I even looked away, and it was all dark. And I said, I'm going to turn back and see if I can still see her doing that. And when I turned back around, I could see her doing it still.
And then Lauren was sitting on the other side of me, and she saw it.
Yep.
That's when Ron spoke up and said, does anybody else see this light on my wife's lap? And, you know, everybody's looking around. They don't know where I am. It's black.
We're in the middle.
Yeah, we're kind of right across from the door. This might have been the same time as the bat.
Yeah.
It could have been.
I was attacked many times, so I think we all were.
So we're doing the, you know, I'm doing this and I'm really just amazed. And Ron yells this out, and everybody says no, they don't see anything. And Sandy said something, and about the time Sandy said something, it was gone. And at the same time that Sandy said something, Lauren got pinched right on her knee.
Oh.
Not long after that, you know, we left to go out of the cellar, and I told Ron, I said, your aunt is pissed at her boys. And I turned around and I called her boys.
No, I remember saying, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, where did she come from? Yeah, we're here at McPike. Where did this come from?
And I told him, I said, I don't know. I said, but your cousins are fighting with each other. And I said, and their mom wants them to stop. And so I go and I get on the phone. I call them and tell them that that you guys have got to stop. And they actually made up not long after that. You guys.
No, they both did say, how did you know we were even fighting?
I said, your mom told us. So, but when the pinch on Lauren's leg is what told me who it was. So, and I kept hearing her voice. And, you know, it's very strange when you're at one place and you hear a voice that doesn't go to that place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know what? Later on, we did find out that a lot of people brought their own spirits there. It wasn't just McPike, the people associated with McPike. It was a lot of spirits were brought with them. We did find that out later, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, I remember. Do you remember that one time, John, Terry? I don't know if you guys were in there, because I know that sometimes.
Well, man, there's a lot of times Sandy says, I'm seeing some people I don't recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I know there was a lot of times where you guys were in the basement and I was running around, or I was in the basement and you guys were running around. You know, we were taking turns because we were being told where to go.
Very much, yeah.
And a lot of times, John and Terry couldn't be together. Me and Ron couldn't be together. We would just do what we got to do.
Yeah.
But there was one time I was in the basement and I was sitting across from Chris, Coyote Chris. And we're coming up on the anniversary of his passing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Miss him very much. I'm sitting across from him and he said, Denise, there's something big and dark between the two of us. And I said, I know. And he goes, what do you know? And I told him, I said, it's the Sally house. I said, it's pissed that we're not there.
Mm.
It did not like when we were gone. And things would happen. And he's like, oh my God, you're right. And he was just shocked as shit, because at that time he didn't want to believe that those spirits could travel with me. And Sandy told me that many times, that those spirits were with me in different places.
That was the only weekend we took off.
Yeah, that was the only weekend we took off, was to come see you guys at McPike.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we'd work our butts off all year long on this stuff. So, John, Terry, did you guys ever, and Bobby, did any you guys have any amazing moments at McPike besides meeting us?
He got pinched.
Yeah. I
He was
got touched
pinched in the butt.
during the dark cellar session.
Yeah.
And, before they turned the lights out, it was the summer camp out. She's the only one next to me. I got empty chairs all around me. So Sharon turns the light out and she starts doing her thing. And I feel a finger go down the inside of my arm like this. I'm like, hey. I asked her, did you touch me? She went, no, I haven't moved. Okay. A couple of minutes later, there's a poke just like that right in my left butt cheek. It's like, hey, somebody's getting a little too friendly out here.
Do you want to know what made us go back to McPike? After the first time we went, we were down there with Sonia and Wes and Valerie and her friends from Chicago, the witches from up there, Gula and all them. And it was our first time there, me, Ron, and Leah. And we had went to Spirits to eat. It was called something else then. But we went there to eat because I love Cajun food. And I had one of those little clamshell wallets that you had to twist it to open it. It wasn't a zipper or anything like that. And I had paid for our dinner and I went to put the card in there and I just threw it in there. And Ron goes, make sure that you close that up, make sure it's in there right. And so, he saw that it was in there, it was locked, all that stuff. And I put it in my purse and off we went to McPike. We're at McPike and Leah has like a panic attack. And they said that, Sandy told her it was Mary was getting too close to her. And I told Leah, I said, just tell her to back off and everything will be fine. And at this time, I can feel something on my lap. Not my kid, not my husband, but something's on my lap. The next thing we hear is somebody rustling around in my purse. Holly, you're probably just going to have to give up, sweetheart.
Oh,
I am so sorry. But, we do this. And I told Sandy, I said, there's somebody near my lap. I said, I hear something in my purse. And she goes, well, do you have anything in your purse that children might like? And I said, I have green tea gum. I guarantee that no kid likes green tea gum. And we, don't think nothing about it. We go to McDonald's afterwards, to go back to St. Louis. I can't find my debit card.
Oh,
I
no.
can't find any of the cards that were in my wallet. My wallet is still closed, but everything's underneath my wallet at this point. And the only thing up on top is that damn green tea gum. So we feel like that the kids were messing around in my purse.
Yeah, it completely changed.
Yeah. And if he hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yep.
Because I'm absent-minded. I don't pay attention to where I put stuff in my purse. So now my purse looks like this. This is it. I know where everything is without having to look. But back then it was a big old purse. But I don't know. I'm just so glad that we found each other at McPike.
Yeah, that was cool.
Because we have been friends a long time. You guys even did a trip out to see us in Kansas City to see the Sally House.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So, Holly, while you're here, do you have anything you want to share? We'll try again.
She froze.
Come back to
That
Poor girl.
I feel so bad. So, did you guys have any amazing experiences at the Sally House when you guys were there?
Yeah.
I didn't get scratched while you were there, so that was good.
No, that's when one of them swore at me, called me a dumbass.
That was funny.
Ron was videoing the whole thing. No, I was. And he had the dose box. You know,
No, the echo box. Yep.
except it's on his phone. He doesn't get the static.
Right.
You know, I'm crouched down by the bed and I'm videoing the whole thing. And Ron asks the phone, "Who's that guy over by the bed?" And clears the bell. The phone says, "Dumbass." Hey.
I said, "Hey, watch
She
that."
calls me that, but she's married to me. I just thought that was hilarious. That was the only thing we caught out there.
Yeah.
So, all of you, do you guys have a bucket list place that you want to go, or some place that you just have to go back to?
Ashmore.
Bobby says Ashmore.
I want to
I'd
go
like
back to
I've
Ashmore.
never been there.
Always
I wanna-
had a
I wanna go
wonderful
to,
time there.
I'd love to go to Ohio State Reformatory. That'd be
Yes,
awesome.
there in Mansfield. I would
Yeah,
love to
that-
do that too.
That's awesome.
It is well worth it.
Yeah. Or Waverly Hills.
Yeah, Waverly
Yeah.
Hills and
Never been
Louisville.
there.
That would be also a good one.
I want to do the plantations, like Myrtle's plantation.
Oh yeah,
the
the
Myrtles.
Myrtles.
I'd
That'd be
love
cool.
to go there.
They had some
Yeah, we-
damage not that long ago.
Talked about doing
Really?
that this year. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
with a group here in
we're
Pensacola.
yeah we're
We're gonna get
members of
Gettysburg.
Panhandle Paranormal
Yeah.
of Pensacola. Can we get
Gettysburg,
some more
too.
peas thrown in there?
I want to go to Gettysburg.
We've been there.
I'd like to
We've
see
been
that.
there. We're gonna go back.
Yeah, been
Yeah.
there, and looking like we're going to go next year
Yeah, that was
for the
interesting.
bash.
At Mansfield, May 2025. It's the first weekend in May, which is also the Kentucky Derby weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's always the first weekend in May.
Oh, is that when
The
the big
Mansfield.
Mansfield thing is?
Mhm.
Oh well.
I have a thought, if I may, please. Just for, I'd like to get everyone's opinion on this, if I may. Do you think it's possible that certain spirits or entities die? Now, I'll extrapolate on that. I read an article a few months back that was done in the United Kingdom. A survey was done of different paranormal investigators in the United Kingdom. And they have places that they love to visit, just like we do here in the United States, like McPike, Lim, different places like this. And in this report, the study said that this group, when they looked at all their data, one of the things that seemed to be very common was that certain entities that had, let's just say, interacted with people over the years, now none of the investigators on any different team at any different time during the year was able to make contact with these entities. One example was in the Tower of London. Of course, we know Anne Boleyn has been recorded there many times. Also, in another location, there was another woman who was known as Anne of Cleves. She was been recorded. And of course, Geoffrey Chaucer, the author Chaucer. None of these entities have been recorded or in any way documented to make contact with any paranormal group for over 2 years.
So
the
how far
question-
back did they go?
They went.
About.
This report was written in 2022, and they went back all the way to. This was 2022, and they went back to the year 2000 just to document and to make sure. And one of the questions that was brought up for discussion and debate is, do you think sometimes that spirits, entities, stay at a certain place, as I said, Anne Boleyn in the Tower of London, Geoffrey Chaucer,
Well,
and others, could they possibly, if you'll excuse the expression, come to the end of their life cycle and they just move on?
I've asked that question.
especially, yeah, we've asked that question, and especially the overseas, anyone over in Europe, they got, you know, a lot older stuff than us. And every time we get them on there, we ask them what's about, how old is the oldest spirit you've seen?
Or is there an expiration date?
We don't ask the expiration date. I ask, you know, what's the oldest spirit you've communicated with? It's usually about 300 years, maybe is about the oldest. But we just wondered why they never got anything older than that. So is there an expiration date?
This was the,
After 300 years?
This was the point that was brought up, is that, you know, could it be possible that the spirits just say, you know what, I've had enough, it's time for me to go, of their own volition? Or
Right.
do they have an expiration date?
They move on.
Or the other point that was brought up in a left-hand sort of way dovetails into what we're doing tonight. Here in the 21st century, more times than not, we find ourselves when our faces are affixed on a computer screen, be it on a laptop, a computer, your telephone, whatever. And we are transfixed with what's going on that screen. Things could be going on around the peripheral. And because we're so transfixed on these other things, we just wouldn't know a spirit if it said boo, because of the way that things go in the 21st century.
It's very possible that people just aren't paying attention to the same things that they paid attention to 10 years ago.
Precisely. Another point that was brought up was, yes, you know, as I said, we're more inclined to focus our attention on what's directly ahead of us. We don't look at the perimeters on each side. And the other thing is that many people will contend that we in the 21st century are in a position to where we're more inclined to look for logical, reasonable explanations for things like lights flickering in the background or a noise in another room. We're more inclined now to look for those logical explanations. You could say perhaps being more of a skeptic or whatever you may, but statistics have proven we're more inclined to look for those things as opposed to just arbitrarily saying, oh, yeah, you hear those footsteps in the hallway? Oh, that's Fred. He always comes around about this time in the evening.
Well, you know, it could be like going back into like the 70s. You didn't talk about paranormal stuff. It was happening, but not everybody noticed it. Not everybody saw it. And the people who did see it didn't say anything because they were nut jobs, you know. And I resemble that remark. Okay. I know that's a lot of things, but you know, Randy is a skeptic. The first thing he's going to do is try to debunk it before it becomes paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Same as with us. We're going to try to figure out why it's doing that before we say it's paranormal, because we don't want to look like we don't know what we're doing. You know, if you're not debunking and living in a factual world, whether it's paranormal or not, you're going to look silly at some point. I mean, that's my opinion. You know, my opinion does not match everybody else's opinion, and not necessarily that of the network either. So, but that's kind of how I see it. So, Randy, what's your thought?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm a skeptic. I I really don't know. You can't explain it. I don't think really anybody can.
Not until we
Just-
get over there.
Yep.
You know, until something like you know visually appears out in front of you, so where you can actually. There's no photos taken, nothing like that. But then again, who's going to believe you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just your word against your own self, and that's it. And like, hey, look,
Yep.
this is what I seen. No one can tell me that I didn't see it because I know I did. And
Yeah.
so it's your own person that's gonna believe it.
Have you guys ever watched any videos of people that said they had a life after death experience? You ever watched any of some of those people on the videos?
I've seen a
Yeah.
few.
Yeah, there was 5 of them that basically had about the same thing happen to them. You know, they both kind of experienced, well, all of them kind of experienced the same thing, similar, but they all explained that after they went through this stage and then the next one, then they would get to like this open field where the grass is just bright green. You know, the flowers are really bright. Some of them even said there were colors they'd never seen before from these flowers. And they get there and they said, you know, they'll see their relatives, but then they said they'll see other relatives from like 100, 2 years or 200 years ago, and they said they know that's their relatives because they said they feel it. They said they just know that's their relatives, but all of them, they only go back about 200 years or so, and they said they could tell by the way they're dressed. But they said they know it's our long lost relatives. But all of them, there's like 5 of them. That's as far back as they went, because they asked them to explain how far back. They said, well, early 1800s, 1700s, maybe. Based on their clothing.
Yeah.
But that's it. They didn't go any further than that. So I don't know. Is there a limit? Then like Tom said, maybe you come back and start all over again.
And
Supposedly we're here now. Supposedly we're here to learn what we can, figure out, the mistakes we made, and try and better ourselves. And when you come back, do better next time.
either that or
Some people do better than others.
Or maybe next time you come back, you're a mouse getting chased by a cat, and you're going to learn your lesson.
I said animals to be animals. Hey, Irene.
My paranormal friends are here in Japan from Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
Well, congratulations.
Oh,
I
wow.
hope that they're staying safe from the tropical storm over there, Irene. So, Corey, do you have anything you want to share on this topic? No?
I don't think so. When he asked the question, what do we think happens? I think that they just cross over. It's their time to cross over, and we don't see them anymore. That's all I can think of.
John,
I wouldn't
do you-
say there was a expiration date.
That's your punishment. You got to be a ghost down here for 300 years. Then we'll think
Right.
about taking you.
So do you think it's like purgatory, being in between?
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have unfinished business.
Right.
Right. Or I kind of wondered now, you're a ghost, you're walking around. How do you see things? Do you see things as it is, or are you still climbing stairs that have been gone for 50 years?
Right.
In the bedroom.
I think it depends on if they are, as they say, residual versus intelligent.
Right.
Which dimension are they in? Are they in our dimension where they see everything as we do? Or are they in another dimension where they see it like it was when they were alive? I don't know. I know what I see, but I haven't died. Well, I guess not officially. I haven't officially died. But I know when I see spirits, sometimes they look like me and you, solid and I can touch them. And then there's other times where they're not solid and they're more past like, they look more like
Black.
what they would have looked like 100 years ago. So it's kind of, maybe it's because of when they died, maybe because of where they died. I don't know. But I don't know if there's a difference between residual and intelligent. How do we know for sure? We're back to all these, they're all theories until we can prove it otherwise.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm always interested in learning more theories on, different things. But like Randy said, you could be there, you could take pictures of everything, but nowadays nobody believes your pictures because of Photoshop and AI.
Yeah, deep fakes and stuff like that. So
Oh, it doesn't even have to be that deep of a fake anymore. You can just go out to AI and say, show me a picture of a ghost. And it might bring up Casper, or it might bring up the Boo Brothers. We don't know what it's going to bring up. I mean, I realize they're the same cartoon. No, the Boo Brothers was not Casper. That was Scooby-Doo.
Oh, okay.
So, do we know what we're going to see? And I don't know. I just know what I see. I know that there's something there that is not of this world or was once part of this world, not currently. So it's just one of those strange things that I really can't explain, but I can tell you they don't have feet. They don't have feet.
I've heard that many times.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was normal until recently.
Yeah, some others said that.
And I was like, when I see spirits, I don't see feet. And but what's strange is, I've told Ron this many times. When my dad died, I was at his funeral and I didn't believe he was dead. And that's because I saw him. I saw him laying there, but I saw him mingling around.
Oh, wow.
You know how hard that is for a 10-year-old?
Yeah, really.
You don't believe that your dad's dead for years. It took me probably 8-10 years before I believed that my father wasn't coming back.
Oh my gosh.
And it's one of those strange things. I wonder how many other people are out there that kind of stuff happens to.
I don't see feet or legs.
Yeah, that's what Irene said.
Yeah.
So, have you guys ever seen what you believe is a spirit?
I have
I know.
at both jobs, actually. When I was at the night shift at a convenience store, I was making the breakfast. It was about 4:30 in the morning. I'm getting it out to the hot case. And we know there's a spirit in the store. I named him Louie. And Bobby came in to try to psychically track him down. He likes being in the back by the beer cooler where he's left alone.
Likes the beer.
But I came through the archway back into the kitchen, and I looked, and there was a man, had black pants, white shirt, dark hair, and was bent over the pizza table. And my mind said, "Who the hell are you?" But my mouth got as far as "whoop," and he was gone. So, okay, that must have been Louie. And then at the day job, I'm a housekeeper for one of two housekeepers for 38 retired priests. And I'm cleaning this one guy's bathroom. And I'd only been there a year or two, and he didn't hardly talk to me anyway. He wanted me in his room, clean it, and get out by the time he gets back from the chapel. Okay. So I'm in the bathroom. And out of the corner of my eye, I see him come in and sit down in the chair, and the sun reflecting off his glasses was what caught my attention. I thought, okay, shit, he's in here. I gotta get done. Wait a minute. The room I'm in, this priest only wears black and he doesn't wear glasses. And I looked, and split second gone, and I realized there's a priest that had died 9 months before that, and he had like blue pants, his favorite outfit, light blue pants, a white windbreaker, and he wore glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Wow.
that's what I saw.
That's spooky.
So I saw two, one at each job.
Didn't you used to work at a funeral home too?
Yeah,
And
I
didn't you have something happen to you there?
at the funeral home. No, we scared
Okay.
people. It was fun.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
They thought it was weird because, well, I was a body mover for 3 years, and for 2 years I was a dispatcher. So I just sat in this dark office with a desk lamp on, reading Stephen King books.
Well, there's a Stephen King short story about a guy who wasn't dead, but they thought he was dead.
Oh.
And it's in the same book as the story from 1408.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And it also has part of the Langoliers in there. So
Yeah, I read the Langoliers.
yeah, it's a really good. I mean, it's just a bunch of his short stories, and this guy, I think he died on the golf course, but he wasn't dead.
Oh.
So you're gonna have to
Wow.
read it to get the rest of it. But it's been I read that on the way to McPike, those stories.
Huh.
But I Stephen King is he has an amazing sense of storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to experience where he's at that time. I mean, doing The Shining. I mean, I know that that's not a true story, but I could see where he would come up with that if you're thinking about going to Colorado in the winter, which Crystal lives there. I could see the bad snow coming in and being stuck someplace for a long period of time, driving you crazy.
Oh yeah.
Smoking too much peyote, I think.
Yeah.
Well, maybe either that or drinking
Or whatever he does.
eating yellow snow.
Oh.
So
Oh.
you just never know. So, do you guys? So you guys have zero plans right now. You got some things coming up, right? To go do some more
I've heard
paranormal
about
tours.
If we want to,
What
if it
Tom
comes
just
there.
put up there.
The only thing we're looking forward to is Brother McPike camp out and our little 20-year celebration at the library.
Oh, that's good. So at your 20-year celebration, are you guys going to talk about paranormal stuff or just old times?
Well, it's open to the public, so we're gonna put on our presentation like we have for 4 other libraries or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll put on a presentation. I'm the comedy act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
So Debbie Spinelli, she says, Bobby, what about the video I showed you of the trucker and the hitchhiker, full black dressed gal?
I wish she could talk more on that than I can, but briefly, she did show me a video of trucker story, just
Did they freeze up?
Rose, I think so.
Yeah. I wonder, was that a
I guess I thought it was just a pregnant
the-
pause.
trucker?
I know.
Thought so too.
So
That could be how they got it.
while they're coming back, do you guys have any plans for this fall?
There's actually they're doing an investigation over at Casadega and I think it's the weekend of the 19th, I think 18th, 19th.
And we're back.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're thinking about doing that. You can either do it like one night or you can do the whole weekend. They're going to do an investigation. So
And then the hotel is haunted that you stay in.
Right.
It's all right there.
so we'll probably end up doing that.
And that's September 19th?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're like 2 weekends back to back.
And that's a public investigation kind of thing?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll have to look for that and see.
Need a nap.
No, not for us. For
No,
next
no.
year.
What?
19th.
Did he say
It was arrested, didn't I?
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, is that a Thursday?
It's on a weekend, so Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I can't remember the dates. So it's around that
September or October?
October.
October, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Had to be.
So, go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead and finish your story about the hitchhiker.
I'll try it again. Basically, the story: long haul trucker. He's going down this 2-lane highway and going to make his run. And as he's going down this highway, he sees a figure of a black silhouette of a woman walking along the side of the road. And being a good Samaritan as he was, he pulled the truck over and was going to offer this lady a ride. She got in his truck. He went down the highway for a while, and then, of course, he struck up a conversation like, where are you going on a night like tonight? No one should be out. And she just remained silent, didn't say anything in particular, continued down the highway, and again, wanting to make polite conversation, he looked over to her and asked what her name is. She didn't say, but she looked at him just for a brief moment. They made eye contact, and she didn't have any eyes, but there were tears running down her cheeks. She hung her head. And then the next thing you know, he looks at her and she's gone. She's not in the truck at all. Was this a paranormal experience, or was just another example of a little, how shall we say, highway hypnosis, to where this was just all an illusion that was created in the mind of an old, tired truck driver?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's really, I mean, Ron's had experiences on the highway. Not that anybody got in the car. He didn't pick anybody up.
Didn't get that far.
Yeah. But yeah, he had an experience, down near Warsaw?
No,
Or Tightwad?
it's coming up. It's like, I believe it's Highway 5 in between Lake Ozark and California, Missouri, near Jeff City.
Yeah.
But I just coming up, it was early November, raining like crazy, about upper 30s, super cold rain. And I thought, man, this is a bad night to be driving. And it's a 2-lane highway, but where I was coming up was, I knew it came to a big S turn. The speed limit is 55, but you had to back it down to about 30, and which I was going to anyway because it was pouring down rain. And I knew I was coming up on it. And as I came up on it, I saw somebody walking on the side of the highway, on the side of the road. And my first thought was, oh man, their car must have broke down in this mess. I said, I need to get them picked up. But as I got closer to them, they were walking. They were all black, had a black hood. That's all I could see was the back, and they were just walking, but they were walking like this rain didn't bother them at all. I mean, at all. And I started slowing down. I thought, well, that's kind of weird. This rain doesn't seem to be slowing them down or anything. And as I got right up to them, it turned around and looked at me. It was just a white glow for a face. That was it. It was just a white glow, no facial features, nothing. It looked at me for about 3 or 4 seconds. That was enough for me to say, oh, hell with that. And I went. Well, but it was right on that curve. So I took the curve, and I'm like, what the hell did I just see? But it just kept walking. It just turned and looked at me, turned its head back, just kept on going like, no problem, nothing at all. And, I went on down the road, and I got back to the house. Well, I got to California, Missouri, and I kind of stopped. There was a little Hardee's there, and I'm thinking, the hell did I just see? I've told that story not a whole lot of times, but I've talked to a bunch of different people about that. Somebody actually said it was what a centurion is what they call it.
Yeah, somebody who was.
It's like a warning to get
Wow.
to get you to do, slow down in this case, which I already knew to do that, but if I didn't know the area, I wouldn't have known that. I mean, that would have got me to slow down.
Yeah.
But that was weird.
Debbie Spinelli adds here that Bobby, there was another guy stopped to help the trucker with the lady. He had a camcorder on the smaller truck. He saw the lady in the back of the truck, on the back of the trucker's doors floating on it. He stopped the trucker and showed the trucker what he caught on camera.
Yes, I recall her showing me the video of that as well. And I must say, initially I took the way of looking at it, I guess Randy would, from a point of a skeptic. Because when this video was shot from this gentleman truck behind that big truck I just described, it looked like a black sack, such as, say, big black 55-gallon trash bag. We all know what they look like. And it initially looked like, to me, it just was debris blown up from the highway and it got stuck on the back trailer doors.
Yeah.
And I was willing to say, yeah, that's just some garbage that blew up there. But as this video continued, you saw what happened is this, again, using the 55-gallon trash bag as a reference point, while it was in that position, within a few moments, all of a sudden you saw this. Two hands came away from the body and reached out like this to kind of like hold on to the back doors of the trailer. Mm-hmm. And when that happened, I went, dude, I don't think a 55-gallon trash bag could sprout arms and no. So at that point, Randy, I got to tell you, buddy, I was a skeptic for a while, and using, again, that rational, logical way of looking at it, just kind of went right out the window. And I'm just, okay.
Where'd you get the video or see it at?
Pardon?
No, I mean, how'd she find out about the other trucker sent her the video?
The video was shot by a gentleman in a pickup truck who was behind this 18-wheeler. And Debbie Spinelli, she would have more precise data about where she came across this. But when she showed it to me, God bless her, she was just so excited. Oh, Bob, you got to see this. Look at this. Wow.
Yeah. She said Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook. Okay.
So, that was just one of those things. But again, Randy, I'm with you, pal. Sometimes you've got to view things as a skeptic and say, okay, what could this be? And, use that rational, logical, reasonable part of our mind and say, okay, this is what I feel it is. But when other things occur, well, you kind of have to rule that out and say, well, maybe.
Harry, do you need to slap John around?
He's a mess.
Not me.
Stop. Be good.
What is he doing? Sitting there farting or something?
No.
You wish, huh?
That's a good idea, though.
No.
I brought this up at our paranormal meeting.
God, help us.
Bobby called this a glitch in the matrix.
Okay.
I'm a kid. I'm 8 years old. Yeah, I was 8 years old at one time. And across the road from my parents' house, down a little bit, there's a little field with a lone tree growing up in the middle of it, and then it butts up against the woods. So I'm 8 years old. I'm tramping through this field between the lone tree and the woods, and I stumble across this concrete furniture. There's a bench. It's about 3 feet long, 18 inches wide, 18 inches high. There's a concrete table. It's about 3 feet long, 2 feet wide, set up about 2 feet. And on the other side, there's 2 concrete chairs. And I'm 8, so I can wriggle my butt in these chairs, a perfect size for a 4 or 5-year-old. And I sit on the bench, and my knees brush against the underside of the table. But, this is still pretty cool. And so I explore it for, I don't know, an hour or so, and I went home. Next morning, hey, I want to find that furniture again. I go down there, and I zigged and zagged through that field for 3 hours. It was gone. It was totally gone. Story doesn't end yet. 3 years later, now I'm 11, and I'm wandering through that field. I stumble on it again. It's like, it's back. I didn't lose my mind. It's right here. Cool. So I check it all out. Now my mind's a little more mature. I look for tire tracks. Did somebody bring it in and drop it off? Or it would have taken 2 guys to lift this picnic table, so no footprints or anything.
No tire tracks.
No tire tracks. So I backed up against the lone tree, and I faced the table, and I put a stick down between my feet. Okay, it's pointing at the table. All right. And I look across the table to the beginning of the woods, and I pick out a tree. I take my T-shirt off, walk over there, tie it around the tree. I double check from both ends. Okay, everything is in perfect alignment. So I get bored. I go home, come back the next day, and I walk from the stick right to my T-shirt. There's nothing in between.
That's crazy.
And after that. And Bobby called it a glitch in the matrix. I don't have any other explanation.
Told him about the apple tree.
A similar situation with an apple tree, too. I'm behind my parents' house where there were woods and fields and a big swamp. So I'm walking around out there, and I'm across the swamp, and I go through this little pine forest, up a little hill to a clearing. It's about 30 yards in diameter, and offset towards the middle, there's this apple tree, and it had been hit by lightning. The top was destroyed. You could see where the trunk was split and the black singe right down the middle, but it had one live branch on it, and it had apples on it. These things were the size of grapefruits. Things like, no way. I got a stick and I batted one down. I ate it, and it was awesome. I can't describe it. It wasn't Macintosh, wasn't a Red Delicious, wasn't a Northern Spy. They were the 3 I was familiar with. So I munched that down as much as I could. It's cool. So I made a bag out of my shirt, and I put 6 in. That's all it would hold. So I went back to my house and dumped it out on the kitchen table. Mom, look at these. Wow, where'd you get those? And I described everything to her. She said, were there any more? I said, yeah, I think there were 6 or 7. She gave me a real bag this time. Go get them. Okay, so across the swamp and through the little pine forest, up over the little hill to the clearing, nothing. There's not even broken ground where there was a tree. And it's like, I brought apples home. Mom saw them. I ate one. I'm looking around on the ground for the core. Nothing. It's gone.
So were the apples at your house when you got back?
Mom was cutting them up for pies, but yeah, they were there.
Wow.
Wow.
So now we know that the song "Over the River and Through the Woods" is possibly a horror story.
Here's a kind of little bit of an example.
God.
I'll show you of what I have learned is a glitch in the matrix. And that's just a 21st century terminology, but it means sometimes when things happen, they happen in such a way that we question it very highly. And here's an example. Now, think about this. We've all done this from time to time. We look at ourselves in the mirror If you're putting on makeup, you're shaving, you're just going, oh my God, where did that come from? Whatever. But you're looking straight into the mirror and you're kind of examining your face.
Oh, geez.
And as you're looking straight into the mirror, just like our mascot is, just for a split second, this happens. Now you'll see, especially on Facebook and on YouTube, there are many different videos of where this has happened. People have recorded either themselves or someone else looking at themselves in a mirror, and then just for a split second, while their head, face, and everything is straightforward, just as this is, the camera will catch it and you see just like that. Unexplained movement, but it comes right back to that center, right where your face was. That's a glitch in the matrix because there's something that just happened for us.
I thought that was bullshit.
I thought you were trying to hypnotize us.
Yes, I am a hypnotist. You guys know that. I am a hypnotist. But the point being, you know, again, there's enough documented evidence that is out there to show that there are things like this that happen in the order of our everyday lives that if you happen to have the right equipment at the right time and everything, these things occur. And that's just little glitches, kind of like where just for a moment, like we all went blank just a few moments ago. That was a glitch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Where can everybody find you guys? You can share or not share where you know, if you guys have a Facebook page or anything like that.
We've got Primo at Jefferson CO period for our Facebook page. I work on it when I get time, but I don't get a lot of time. So
Like I didn't know that.
But right now it's not a lot to look at, but I'm working on it.
Do you guys have a Facebook page for your paranormal endeavors?
No.
Okay.
On there.
Well, I hope everybody will join me here every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central for the Paranormal Pride. There will be no show next Monday due to Labor Day, so please take time to be with your family and enjoy your time away from everything that glitches up. Please also think about attending the Deep South Paracomic-Con in Ozark, Alabama. Ron and I will be there on, September 13th or 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
And on September 12th, we are starting our regional or Milton paranormal meetups. So we're going to have those every, Thursday nights once a month and see how that goes. See if anybody really enjoys that stuff. So who knows? So, and then join us tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Central for Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. And our guest tomorrow night is Laura Wilbur. And we're going to have a lot to talk about with her. She has a paranormal magazine and some other things that she's working on. So it should be interesting. And you can find the Paranormal Pride and Paranormal Nation Radio here on the Paranormal Pride Facebook page and YouTube, and also on Things Network, where Ron and I are newly formed Things of Florida. So we're those things. Don't avoid us. We're the good things. And you can also catch us on me on LinkedIn, on my personal LinkedIn and YouTube. So join us. And thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. We had a great time. And good night, everyone.
Good night.
Peace.
Good night.
Good night.